Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Pastrami Nation podcast. My name is Nolan Smith, and joining me today, we have Eddie Aguirre, world famous. Yeah, we're so happy that Eddie's here. We also have from up north, but not like Canada up north, we have Kevin Hoskinson.
Hello.
And we will have another guest joining us shortly, so a surprise, right? So if you guys are just tuning in, Pastrami Nation's about the meat of pop culture. So we talk about comic books, movies, video games, anything that's pop culture, we try to talk about it. Manga, cosplay, comic conventions, if they were still happening, we'd be talking about it.
In Washington.
Yeah, apparently we talk about that too, but it still matters. So we do have some good topics to talk to you about today, some very hot button topics because it's what's blowing up in the media right now. So let's go ahead and jump to the big one, especially we're all movie fans here. Let's talk about Universal, their comments they made about the Trolls World Tour movie and the responses that the movie theater chains have given so far. So, of course, first off, Universal released Trolls World Tour on video on demand because there are no movie theaters right now. So I think it's a smart move. It keeps families entertained and also lets them try to recoup some money. Well, right. They recoup more than that. They did very well for the time it's been on video on demand. And Universal made a statement, paraphrasing it, saying, this model worked. And we plan to continue doing so and experimenting with this even when movie theaters reopen. AMC shot back and said, we see this as endangering our business and our livelihood. We will no longer show Universal movies in our theaters. AMC being, I believe, the biggest movie theater chain. And then the parent company of Regal actually made a similar post. And then Regal the next day said, just kidding. Like, yeah, we're still gonna do it. So, guys, thoughts on this? What do you think about this topic?
I think for the time being, they need to do this. Putting on video on demand right away with the movies that were supposed to be released during this time is a good thing for the people, good thing for Universal, and I think it helps with what's going on today. I mean, we can't go to movies, we can't go to theaters. We have to stay at home. So I think putting it on video on demand is necessary for the time. But for the future, I don't know. I think they'll piss off a lot of people.
Yeah, I think exactly what you said. Right now, it's good. We all need new content. We need new things to watch, especially kids stuff and everything, because you notice a lot of the stuff that's been coming out to direct to video on demand has been like family films and stuff. But in the future, I think it's going to cause a lot of trouble between, obviously, like we know, between the theaters and stuff, AMC, because they do have that exclusive window, which I think is like 6 weeks or something like that a movie has to show in theaters before it comes out to DVD. So I think it's a tough one, but I think right now it's good, but later on in the future, it's not going to be ideal for. Obviously, the studio is going to be making money, but I don't think they'll be making as much money as they would as if they released it in theaters, and then built up the anticipation for it to come out on home video. Then people buy it because of
they make
they heard it was
millions,
great,
dollars on their opening days, millions at the movie theaters. Even during a recession, when times are hard, and it's proven in the past, people still go to movies. People love going to the movies. Mm-hmm. It's not like music. With music, when they stream it or when they download it, when you could get it off the internet free practically, that will hurt the industry. They rather sell a CD. They rather sell an album. They rather sell it on whatever format they could sell a song on. But I think in times today, it's hurting the music industry. But at the same time, with movies, it's a lot different. People like going to the movies opposed to sitting in the house. They want to get away from their house. They want to get away from reality. They want to go to a theater, spend the money on popcorn, and sit there and watch a movie.
Good point. And this is something I wanted to bring up as well, is that movie theater culture, which we're all missing right now. And you can't get that at home. I mean, you can order the seats, you can make the popcorn at home. Nothing tops the movie theater experience. But I mean, I'll play the devil's advocate there and say this world is changing because of this virus. And we don't know the lasting effects it's going to have. And we know there's going to be people that are, no matter what, they're going to be afraid to go back out in public. And I don't blame them because we don't know. So I think there's room for a compromise there, but that compromise, it needs to be fair on both sides.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. And I think the thing is like I use this as an example with my wife earlier. Like, I'll be fine going to a movie theater when it opens. I'll go check out, Tenet, or if they do some like older, like they're talking about like re-releasing some older movies to get people back into the theaters. But it's like, I don't think personally as a dad, I'm ready to take my kids into that environment yet.
There we go.
So
yeah.
I think people are going to be, I'm okay with it, but like you said, I think a lot of people are going to be hesitant to go out as much right now. And I think it's, like you said, it's going to be a lot different, but it's one of those things where like I said, I'm fine going out to a movie theater. If they open like in 2 weeks, I'll probably go check out a movie. Maybe, but I'm not taking my family, I'm not taking my kids. I'm not going to risk them.
I don't even think I'm ready in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
No. And knowing about the culture and also knowing about the way this virus is affecting and the phases that we have to do to quarantine, I don't think this summer, the movie theaters will be ready to open.
No.
But I could be wrong because you're seeing things open today. We talked about it earlier. Gyms tried to open up and they got in trouble. But
in different states, things are opening up because movie theaters in other states open today.
Yeah.
Just not
and
California.
The beaches opened up, and now they're going to try to shut down the beaches.
They got shut down, and then they got all those massive protesters. Yeah.
Would I be ready to go to a movie? I'm not. Okay, maybe not far into the summer, but
maybe a drive-in.
A drive-in. We got a drive-in right up here in Barstow, which is fun to go to. I love taking my family there. It's not as expensive as as going to a theater, and you're kind of like enclosed in your car, so you're not breathing on other people. But I do miss the movie. The theater.
Yeah, so do I. It was like I like to describe it as kind of my way of socializing without actually having to socialize with people. So it's like, because I'm a very shy and quiet person, but I get to go to a place where there's other people there from sharing an experience with them. But I'm not, it's just kind of a weird thing that I'm describing.
Yeah, there's no engagement, but
but it's
the same thing.
Yeah, but it's my way of kind of socializing, and so I miss doing that. I miss going out and hanging out with strangers I don't know, but we're sharing this experience together, and it means a lot to a lot of people. So I don't want to see it go away. But that's another thing though, like when it comes to like the charge of it all, like, I mean, people aren't going to be wanting sitting at home just watching a movie, but once they're able to go out and do other things, are they going to want to go spend, $100 to take their family to the movie, or $30 to stay at home, watch a movie with their family, buy all the popcorn, buy all the snacks and everything, I think a lot of it's going to come down to like financial stuff too. A
lot of times it's fun to have a movie night at home.
It is. So do I. Absolutely.
But I enjoy getting out. I enjoy getting away from my home.
Yep.
I enjoy watching rated R movies, not having to have the kids there with me and go out and watch something at the movie theaters. Have some popcorn, and some theaters that serve beer. We've done it. Nolan had a couple beers where we watched The Joker.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's theaters, just like to you guys, it's my escape.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many days where I decided, like, I'm not going to go to the gym tonight. And I just randomly went to the movie theater. I did that for Jumanji. I think the last movie I saw in theaters was Bloodshot, but it's always been the escape. The movie can be horrible, but just the experience of being there, cushy seats, you have your popcorn and drinks, you have peace and quiet around you.
That smell.
I love it.
That smell of when you open the doors to the movie theater and you walk forward, the smell of the movie theater, that popcorn with the butter. It's just, I'm at the movies.
It's a great feeling. I mean, obviously, when you work there, though, it's not a great smell as much.
I did that too. Yeah.
Both did that, huh?
Yeah, it got
that's
old
right.
after a while. But now I love it though. It's a great feeling, like walking in there and smelling that. It's awesome.
Paying $5 for a bucket of popcorn that you get for 99 cents, but it's worth it.
Oh, it is totally worth it.
So, do you guys think two things could happen? I think one, Universal's going to back down, which we talked about earlier today, or two, other studios could step up to the plate and say, we're going to do the same. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen?
I think they'll back down, but not verbally coming out and say we're backing down, but slowly working their way back into rethinking what they said, and kind of doing a little bit of both. And AMC it's the biggest theater out there, right?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure it is.
So for them to be the distributor of their movies, they're going to want to negotiate. Hey, I don't think it's going to be that tough of a decision for them to bring the movies back into the theaters and make amends with AMC.
No, yeah,
Right.
I totally agree with that. And the funny thing is, there's an AMC on Universal City Walk, which I thought was really funny. Like, what are they gonna do? Like,
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, like, but like once movies like Fast 9 come out and the new Jurassic World movie come out in a couple years,
exactly.
Like Universal's not gonna let that money go away. Like they're gonna have to play it at theaters. They're gonna have to earn that money back, and they're not gonna do it by showing it at home on demand.
Especially if they're going up against other movies. Like, let's say they're going up against Venom. Venom's playing at theater.
Yeah.
And they have a movie playing at home. I mean,
exactly.
The numbers are going to show, and the dollar amount. The dollar amount is a huge difference. 5 people in a family can watch a movie for under $20 at home.
Mm-hmm.
5 people who are at the theaters, they'll make that money out of a movie theater. So it's going to be a big difference.
It will be, yeah. It's going to be, Universal's going to have to back up, totally.
Well, I guess we'll wait and see what happens on that.
Was there any words from Warner Brothers? Because they're keeping very quiet.
I think other than like Scoob, which, I mean, I don't know a lot of people were going to go see. I mean, it's a fun family movie, of course, but, oh yeah. I mean, we would have paid to go see it too, but, I think, that's the only thing I've heard from them. I mean, I hope they don't, go that way, but
they might, depending on how it performs, because, I mean, and I'm not trying to, talk down the Trolls franchise, but
no, totally.
Yeah, well, because, I mean, Trolls outperform the other Trolls at the, compared to theater to video on demand. If Scoob comes out and just because what else is everybody going to do right now in quarantine?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to watch the movie. If it overperforms, I think studios are going to start thinking this is a viable option, not realizing that we are, for both states that we're all in, I think we're, days or weeks away from some sort of soft opening to different businesses, maybe not movie theaters, but to different businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we might see studios try to play hardball, but once we get some sort of sense of normalcy, like people are going to want to escape. They're going to want
that first weekend that everybody goes out to the movie theater, it's going to be packed. Whatever movie's out is going to make so money.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. If watch it be some horrible, stupid movie and we all go see it.
Yeah.
Well, if you are watching this on YouTube, it's uploaded. Leave your comments. Let us know what you think about this. I guess you could call it a controversy. What's going on with Universal, and what your preference is. Were you one of the ones that purchased, Trolls video on demand? Were you happy with the experience? And would you see? And there we go. And would you do it again? And Kevin, would you do it again? Would you purchase another video on demand?
That's the thing. Right now, I definitely would. Scoob is definitely on the list when it comes out. I mean, that's just. I mean, because I'd rather, my daughter's either going to watch Frozen 2 for the 100th time, or I'm going to buy this movie or rent this movie for $20 so that to get an escape.
We know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, in some cases you rent it for $5.99, just depending who's putting it out.
Right. Well, I think they were talking about Scoob's going to actually be a rental and a purchase. So it's actually going to be, you can actually purchase it for $20 as opposed to the 48-hour window thing, which I think will be a different model, but we'll see how that works out. But
okay. I mean, there's some like Prime. If I were to purchase a movie through Prime, I always have to have Prime to watch that movie. Once I don't pay for Prime anymore, I don't own that movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Prime owns you.
They do.
Well, make sure you guys chime in. Let us know what you think about this. We'll keep track of this ongoing debate between studios and theater chains, and we all just want to go back to the theater. And we hope when we go back, there will be Universal movies to greet us as well as all the other studios.
Yes.
So let's go ahead. We're going to jump into the next topic, and it's another thing that's been closed, and it's something that's more near and dear to you two's hearts than mine, and that would be the music industry and concerts and the closures of that and how that is affecting us right now in society.
Right. Well, back when this started, in early March, actually, Summerfest, which is the biggest concert venue in America, which I think they hold 900,000 people at their festival, Summerfest, in Milwaukee. And they were the first ones to announce that they weren't going to have this year, that they were going to postpone it. And then, and people like Guns N' Roses was supposed to perform. Justin Bieber was supposed to perform at this concert. Some big names. Then you had SXSW. There were another venue that shut down, and they're big with the music. The one in Austin. From there, Coachella finally said, "Okay, we're gonna close down." To me, I was looking at Coachella as the beginning of Rage Against the Machine, their comeback tour. That was huge news, because this time, with everything that's going on in politics today, Rage Against the Machine, to hear their music today and look at the politics and everything that's going on, it was perfect.
Yep. And
to see them go on to schedule a U.S. tour and having to start at Coachella, they do different things than they do on their tours, and people recognize that. For a band like Rage Against the Machine to all of a sudden, nope, they're not going on tour. That's sad. Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. It's a huge blow. I mean, it's kind of the same way as going to the movies for some people. It's like an escape. It's a way to kind of get some energy out and to get out there and do their thing. I think like you were talking about, South by Southwest being canceled. And I mean, that not only affected music, but that was a, big film and music both, that just destroyed a lot of, not destroyed a lot of, but a lot of indie filmmakers and a lot of indie bands rely on that coverage to, get their names out there. But yeah, there's been a lot of tours that have been canceled, and it's sad. I mean, I think they'll pick up again. And like, you were talking about Billie Eilish earlier, that tour, which go ahead.
Yeah, I was supposed to go in on April 4th with my daughter, Emily. We were supposed to go to that. We had tickets for it. We're looking forward to it. And just actually 2 weeks before it was canceled, that's when she announced it. We were looking forward to actually going that day. And actually, okay, she's not canceling. She canceled a couple of days. She canceled a couple of tour dates. And all of a sudden, everything just shut down. And not to be able to enjoy that first concert with my daughter, who really loves Billie Eilish, it was like kind of a blow to my heart. I was like, oh, man, that sucks. The one thing that we're going to do together, as she's starting to change into a teenager, and I wanted to really do that with her, and to see Billie Eilish just like blew. I mean, she says that her tour might continue in September, but we'll see. Another band was the Rolling Stones, Madonna, Korn. Korn had a big tour with Faith No More. Faith No More is a band that you don't hear that anymore, and to see them actually come out was discouraging. System of a Down. There's a lot of bands that are affected by this.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know, Kevin, you're a big concert goer up there where you're at.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We just, the last show we went to, we check out a lot of smaller shows. So like the last one we went to was a band called Motion City Soundtrack. They were a lot of fun. But like Newfound Glory was supposed to be coming around. They haven't toured in a couple years, and we were super stoked to go check that out. We were considering actually making that our son's first concert because, it's kind of his vibe of music and stuff, but that didn't happen. Coheed and Cambria, which is one I was extremely excited about. They were supposed to come in June, I think it was, and that was completely demolished or not happening anymore. But yeah, even Billie Eilish, my daughter, she wanted to go check that out. And we didn't get tickets for it, but kind of like, your story, that's just what a lot of people are going through right now. These exciting things to take their families to and their kids to are getting just taken off the board right now because of this. And then even in, I think August is the Hella Mega Tour, I think it is, with Green Day and Weezer.
Oh yeah.
And it hasn't been canceled yet, but I think some of the dates have already been postponed. But I think in August it was supposed to come around here, and I got friends who have tickets, and they're just like, yeah, we'll see, man. Think
about the industry and think about how that's getting affected, because it's not just the bands that aren't making money. You got to think about the roadies, the people that go along to all these concerts, the planners for something like Coachella, all these employees that work at Coachella, that work at Summerfest. They don't have a job this summer. They don't have jobs being roadies. It's sad that the whole industry, how it's affecting the whole entire industry. Even Lady Gaga, I think she postponed her record, her album. She pushed that back a little bit. And there's been other people that are pushing their music back. That's affecting. And yeah, we talked a lot about the culture of the movie theaters, the culture of the music industry, going out and buying a CD opposed to downloading it. What would you prefer doing? Because now you can get my music for practically free. You don't have to buy. So how is this affecting that industry?
No, I know what you mean. It's pretty crazy. Everything's being affected right now. And like, all those bands and everything, like you said, no one's getting paid right now, for any of their work. So there's people who rely on this to make a living is getting completely kind of screwed right now because of that.
I can't go to Best Buy to buy a CD.
Yeah. Like,
where can you go right now to buy a CD?
You can.
Would you buy it like on Amazon? Oh yeah, Target and Walmart. Yeah,
they have maybe like one rack of CDs, and that's
yeah, that's all they have now.
When I was younger, that was a big part of the movie, the music industry for me.
Yep.
Buying an album, buying a CD, buying the tape cassette, but buying the record, I love buying.
I was going to say, you buying the record and buying the 8 tracks and buying all the other stuff,
Yeah, I was around doing those back.
Well, yeah.
But you saw, I posted a picture on my Facebook of the albums that I bought of my Prince collection when he passed away. But I have all these different albums from my Prince collection. I used to love just going and buying the album. I used to love buying the CDs. I had tons of CDs, but now I got rid of some. More than 75% of my CDs are gone because I can just download it, or I can have it on Spotify.
Yeah, we did a huge purge on a bunch of my CDs. I had like totes full of CDs that I just tossed because like we got Apple Music, and it's it's so much like it's easier. Like I can just have everything on my phone, and I don't.
And how many of those CDs that you gave away or you sold or whatever you purged? How many of those CDs you only opened one time?
Yep, so many of them. Well, because even then, I'd open them once.
They downloaded it.
Yeah, I would put it on my iPod. I'd put it on the computer. It would burn onto the iPod, and that was it. I would never open it again.
Yep, that's exactly what I did.
And I did the same thing with my DVD collection, which kind of sucks, but I kind of went through a huge purge of those. But it's like I can stream most of it, and the other ones I'm buying a bunch on Blu-ray that I already had anyways. But physical media.
Yeah, the sad thing about it is I have movies on a hard drive.
Right.
And I have that hooked up to my TV. So I can sit there and watch movies, but there are some CDs that are like my Quentin Tarantino collection. I mean, the DVDs. Yeah. I save those DVDs. But the same with the music. It's an industry that I've seen dwindled little by little, not being able to... It's improved in some ways because you get a lot more music now out there, and it's not just streamlined to like one band. Now you get a larger variety through indie music and everything else. But I don't know. It's kind of sad seeing it fade away, and it started with Napster, and seeing it fade away to a point where now this quarantine is going to kill it, or is killing it.
Yeah, it is. And things like Napster, like you said, there's still, I don't think it's as pertinent right now, but there are things like Napster right now that you can go out and still get free music. I mean, it's still, but yeah, like you said, the quarantine's going to kill the whole industry. And
hopefully, because what can they really do right now? There was that, it was like a telethon where they had everybody, doing that benefit concert. A few weeks ago. I was listening to the audio version of it on iTunes. It's not the same. It doesn't even sound like it doesn't even sound like an internet produced track you could find online from somebody.
iHeartRadio has a big festival as well that they canceled. Then with them, they're doing some stuff where the guests come in and they do songs or whatever they do, like this podcast. Seeing a band play on a podcast is a lot different than seeing them live, or seeing them, or them performing in a studio even, or seeing a video of them. It's a lot different than them sitting at home playing. Jimmy Fallon has been doing that too with his podcast. They do a band from home where they all sing together. It's kind of neat to see that happening, but it's kind of like,
well, we can do that, Eddie. If you really want to sing together, we can all do that too.
I'll do that.
I won't be on that one.
Sing it a couple of times, sing it for the 10th time, and then now it's a norm. It's like, okay, are you singing? I don't want to see my favorite band rocking out at their house.
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed. That's a new norm that I don't want to see continue. It's cool when it was just like, that first, cool. Like the guy from Coldplay, was doing a concert. And I was like, oh, cool. That's pretty awesome, And then all of a sudden everybody started streaming theirs. And you're like, oh, click.
Yeah.
So we will hope for the best with concerts. Hopefully they do come back in some capacity. Of course, everything's going to probably have to be, 50% capacity, face masks, 6 feet apart, all that kind of stuff. So germaphobes should be extremely happy. I'll be happy.
How are you going to be 6 feet apart in the mosh pit?
Nope, 6 feet, man.
No moshing. No, nothing. It's going to be a totally different world when we get back out there.
Oh, sumo suits. They're going to put on the sumo suits.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, you guys put on sumo suits and mosh, man.
Yeah.
All right, let me see. I've been trying to see if our guest is ready. He is not responding right now. So if he can't jump on this one, we'll definitely try to get him on the next one. But we do have one more topic to talk about, and it's one that he brought up, and it's one I think is a very good topic to talk about, and it's the delayed slate of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because as we know, everything got pushed back thanks to COVID-19. And with that, Marvel delayed, of course, their whole slate. So let me run through this with you guys. I have it pulled up right here on my screen. Let's talk movie by movie, and let's talk about if it's still going to have the impact. There's one movie that everybody's going to be like, what? Yeah. So the first one being, of course, Black Widow. Black Widow, as of right now, has been pushed to November 6th, 2020. So still this year. What do you guys think about that? Because the hype was real for it. They marketed it really well and they pushed it really well, and then all of a sudden COVID happened.
I think, it was supposed to open today, I think, originally. It's kind of
That's
a bummer.
right. It was supposed to be that free comic book day weekend opener.
Yeah. I was talking to my son about it, and he totally almost started to cry because he really wanted to see it.
So did Eddie. So yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of us did on the inside. But yeah, I think I don't know. I think the hype will still be there. To be honest, I don't think it's going to be as big as some of the other MCU films. But I mean, with her, I don't want to get into Endgame spoilers right now. I'm pretty sure we can, but I don't want to. But with that whole situation, I think it brings a whole new light, obviously, to the character, and I think people want to see more of her. So I think it's going to do good, but I don't think it's going to be massive. I think it's going to be one of their mid-tier kind of openers.
I kind of feel the same way about Black Widow. It's okay that they're opening in November. I mean, I wasn't that attached to it opening now, but I could wait a few more months to see it in November. But there are some movies that were supposed to be released this summer that I'm more disappointed on, and that's still a couple of months away. And I'm more disappointed on those than I am about Black Widow. And you have a whole list of movies that I'm more disappointed about seeing.
Yeah, and let's see what else we got. So this one, I'm not sure if anybody would be super disappointed, just because not a lot of people know what it is. And it's the Eternals from Marvel. So the Eternals got bumped to February 2021. And are you guys familiar with the Eternals?
Yeah.
I am a little,
cool.
Yeah. A little bit. Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I mean, I personally, I myself, as far as excitement level for it, I'm pretty kind of excited for it. I think the cast is pretty good. I'm a really big Kumail Nanjiani fan, so seeing him in Silicon Valley and seeing his transformation to this hero, kind of like Chris Pratt did, I think will be interesting. That's why I want to see it. But I mean, it's got Angelina Jolie, Kumail, and I'm blanking on everybody else in the movie except those two.
You got Kit Harington from Game of Thrones. And Selma Hayek. You have a really, really good cast. Richard Madden, also from Game of Thrones.
I was excited about seeing something different.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of, kind of when Guardians of the Galaxy first burst on the scene.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's what I'm hoping for.
My favorite comic book hero, Rocket. I was excited to see Guardians of the Galaxy come out.
Yeah. He's your favorite character, right?
Rocket.
Yeah. Nice. So I think February is a good spot for it. February for me will always be the Deadpool spot and the John Wick spot of movie releases, which is a great spot for something to have as long as they can compete with all those mushy Valentine movies, and Eternals should be able to do that. Next up, another one that hasn't got a lot of hype behind it, and that is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, coming May 7th now. So Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu. An odd pick for a movie. I would have went with Iron Fist, but I'm a fan of the character. You're going to have...
Same thing, I would have went with Iron Fist.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm being biased because I just like Iron Fist. I've always been a fan of Iron Fist. However, we will see the real Mandarin in here, not the fake version played by Ben Kingsley. So that'll be cool because I always like the real Mandarin, the 10 power rings, the guy who could destroy Iron Man so easy. So what do you guys think about that? Shang-Chi will be holding that free comic book day first weekend in May spot next year.
Yeah, I think I'm excited for the Mandarin aspect of it, which is kind of a bummer though that they introduce him after certain situations.
Whatever do you mean? I'm kidding.
Right. You know what? I know the movie's been out long enough, like a whole year, and I figure people have seen it by now, but especially people who are probably watching this podcast.
But it could go into a whole different conversation, so I understand.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, I'm kind of like, I honestly don't know much about the character. I know more about Iron Fist than I do about Shang-Chi. I mean, it sounds pretty cool, and I'm an MCU fanboy, so I'll go pretty much see anything they release. So I mean, I'm there, but that's just out of obligation.
About the Eternals is this is something different, and I am happy to see something different, but I'm not sad.
Oh, you froze on us for a minute.
Froze,
I was like, whoa, he really punctuated his word. He was like,
do I need to repeat?
No, you're good, man. The next one, I think it kind of came out of left field for people, and that is Spider-Man 3, now coming November 5th next year.
Now, that's a disappointment.
Yeah, well, and honestly, with that one being pushed back, you're going to see a few other films on here that got pushed back because of that. I don't know if it's on this list, but also Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2 was pushed back as well. And I think all of us loved Into the Spider-Verse. So,
yes.
So there's not a whole lot to talk about on Spider-Man. We just know a third one is coming, and we know it's coming in November. If we jump into 2022, Thor, Love and Thunder has been delayed all the way to February 2022. It's a good spot to have, but I think February 21 probably would have been a better spot. It's a very long time. Luckily, all they've given us is we know Jane Foster returns in there, and we know she's going to don the Thor, monk here. So, and we know Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson are returning. So, kind of bummed for that.
One movie that was surviving and being pushed back so far. But when you get movies that sit on a shelf like for such a long time, and we talked about this earlier, they just die. And so this is one of those movies that will still be successful, and people will still wait to go see it. But there are movies on that list that I don't know.
I agreed.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I think it's. Oh, sorry. I think it's going to be cool. I think the hype's still going to be there, like you said. I'm a huge Taika fan. Taika Waititi. He's one of my favorite filmmakers. So I think, I love Jojo Rabbit, and I love everything he's done. So I'm always down for whatever he's got. And what he did with the Thor franchise was pretty amazing.
Yep, I agree. It'll survive the pushback. I completely agree. Thor has shown that. Everybody kind of counted him out as, one of the big three. Thor is absolutely one of the big three in the cinematic universe. To be honest with you,
it's not just the character that made that movie. Chris Hemsworth made Thor. He was Thor. He is Thor. And I think a lot of people will go see him as Thor another time and will wait that long to see him again. He's done he's played that role pretty well.
I completely agree on that. I mean, he's become Thor propelled him into such a, huge status. I mean, Extraction's out on Netflix. I haven't seen it yet.
Yes.
But I want to see it just because Chris Hemsworth. And then also, it's also based off of a comic from Oni Press. But because, Chris Hemsworth carries that weight with him now. I just got a message. Our guest will not be making it today, but that's okay. We'll get him on the next one. The next movie might fall more into the category we were talking about, guys, and that's the kind of it might, but I don't think it will fall into that push to oblivion and not survive. And that would be Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, slated to now come out March 25th, 2022. Now the reason I say it'll survive it is because the title alone. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. They're going to tie something into this. Right. I have to think there's big plans tied to this. And as soon as they announced Spider-Man being pushed back, this had to be pushed back. So something happens in Spider-Man that will directly, affect Doctor Strange. So I'm excited for that.
This is one character that kind of like I'm kind of divided. I like the character. I like the movie. Am I that excited to go see it again? Yeah, but not overly thrilled that it's getting pushed back. But it's one of those movies that I still am intrigued with the character.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, he's good. I mean, he's a good, cool character. I think the Multiverse of Madness, has a cool title, has a cool, makes you wonder what's going to happen, what's going to go, what's going on. Sam Raimi. I mean, Evil Dead, Spider-Man.
The right man to do it.
He's perfect for it, and I think he's going to do incredible. And if there's any way he could integrate his Tobey Maguire Spider-Man into this movie somehow, that would be incredible. It's the multiverse, you can explore
exactly.
That. I think that would be really, really interesting. It's just a theory that I read online. I think it's pretty cool though. But yeah, I mean, who knows? But
you can have a real life version of all those Spider-Men pointing at each other like
right?
memes.
Exactly.
I think
I'd watch that.
That would be so cool. I would be on board.
It would be amazing.
We have 2 more movies that are actually dated for releases, and that would be Black Panther 2, slated for May 6th, 2022. Again, the first weekend of May opener. And then nice. July 8th, 2022, Captain Marvel 2. So happy about one, not so thrilled about the other. What do you guys think?
Let me guess. You're happy about the Black Panther, but not so thrilled about Captain Marvel.
I'm not a fan of the Captain Marvel film.
Okay.
I don't think a sequel is even warranted. But the fact that they pushed it that far back and gave these other movies a time to come out, that's cool. But again, I'm biased. I didn't like the movie. I felt it was very weak in the story, and they ruined the Nick Fury character for that part. But Black Panther, absolutely. We don't know anything else about Black Panther and what's going to happen and who's going to be in it, except for, of course, the returning cast.
I think I'm more excited for a part 2 of the Black Panther than what I actually saw on the original Black Panther. It wasn't a bad movie. It just, the character didn't play up to what I know of the character Black Panther, who he is, what his abilities are. I think they weakened him in the first movie. And so I'm hoping to see him expand his powers in the second movie.
Yeah, no, exactly. Black Panther is going to be amazing. I have some kind of more personal connections to Captain Marvel, just because it was my daughter, she went to go see the female superhero movie. So it was there was Wonder Woman before, but we watched the DC, but we're a big Marvel family. So it was really cool for her to go and see that, and she was I don't, but it was all about empowerment for her. She loved it. And it was a Marvel movie I could take my daughter to, and she just absolutely loved it. So I'm excited for Captain Marvel 2. I mean, who knows what she'll like in 2 years, but hopefully she'll still be down and we can take her to go see a, cool movie and she'll enjoy it. I'm excited for that. Black Panther 2. I mean, I had no real issues with the first movie. I think his arc's been great ever since Civil War. It's been fun to see him and everything that's been happening with him. So I want to go back to Wakanda and see what's going on and, visit everyone there and just have a good time. So I'm ready for it.
Well, I really like your reasoning on, liking Captain Marvel and how it's what it meant to your daughter. And I think that's real big, and that probably is something similar that Eddie can share as well, probably. Because I don't have kids; it's different,
Yeah. They started writing comics of Captain Marvel. My daughter Jaden, she started buying the comics of Captain Marvel because of the character that came out in the movie. But I'm curious to see the demographics change from male to female. I think the demographics before Captain Marvel were a lot men went to go see these Marvel movies opposed to males
Right.
opposed to females. And then during this Captain Marvel phase, I think it picked up a lot of females watching it, just as Wonder Woman has done and Black Widow. But the Captain Marvel put a big boost into both the comic book industry and the movie industry as far as the Marvel
That's
industry.
very true. Very true, man.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I mean, with Marvel basically taking every single Chris in the world and putting them in their movies and buffing them up and everything. All the
That's true.
It's my wife wants to go watch Thor, Chris Hemsworth, but she enjoys that stuff too, though. But I think it's a very but yeah, you're right though. Since Captain Marvel, I wonder if it has kind of increased the demographic a little.
Man, if they ever put Aquaman versus Thor movie,
yeah,
they will to be all over that.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, I can't tell you how many non-comic fans went to go see Aquaman.
Oh, I could imagine
because it looked good. But hey, I mean, that's humanity for us. We're all like that. So I can't hate on people like.
No, yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I have no.
It brings more people to watch the movies and more people to the comic book world. Which is
exactly
great,
which is amazing.
Yeah,
so
awesome.
Totally
right.
Gives us more to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let me see. I think they had some non-dated ones. We know Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is currently not dated right now. We know that Marvel Studios is working on a new Blade movie, but it's not dated yet either. I just saw Green Book, so I was pretty happy that this guy's.
That's something like when it's talked about shelf life. If they put that on the shelf for too long, it will die.
Right. Yeah, and
because directors will be doing something else, producers will be doing something else, the actors got booked for something else or faded away, and now the actor that's playing him isn't, or he might do something bad, and so a lot of things could change in 3 years' time.
Yep, I agree. That's why it's sad to see Blade at the very end of this, because I'm thinking oh man, I don't want to see that flashback.
I know he's old, but he still looks awesome. I would have loved to see Wesley Snipes play him again.
Eddie's one of 2 people in the world saying that right now.
Yeah. That was one of my first superheroes in the theater.
Agreed.
watching Blade. And
I love those movies.
Awesome. Yes, all 3 of them were great.
Mm-hmm. I thought he did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
So hopefully a new generation will be able to experience that, because, that's a vampire hunter. That's the way it should be done, not, the whole Twilight thing. Let's not talk about that.
Sparkly vampires.
Sparkly vampires, yeah.
Our new Batman.
I actually loved Blade. When I saw that movie, the first one was awesome, and I liked all 3 of them.
He fit the part so well, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, Ollie's got some big shoes to fill, of course, but I'm a fan of the actor. I saw him first in Power Man, or Luke Cage, as I call the series.
Yeah, he's a fantastic actor.
Oh, yeah.
He's incredible.
And good range on him because, comparing him being...
Good actor for that character, for that role.
Yeah, I mean, he was, Cottonmouth, and Iron and Power Man, Luke Cage. And to, the pianist he was in the Green Book. Very, very drastically different characters. I mean, he owned it being a villain. Just, he was great. And then to see him as this, struggling pianist trying to find his way in this world. Yeah, I think he's going to do great as our Marvel's vampire hunter. So that won't happen for a very long time, though, because, COVID came through and pushed everything, but we look forward to when these movies finally drop, so we can all go enjoy them, hopefully at the theater, and of course at our homes too. Because we all want to watch repeats of it. So I think all of us want to have a movie night watching these movies, but also experience it in theaters. So before we sign off, guys, behind me, I'm not really at Line Breakers. Don't be fooled. But I wanted to let you guys know, Line Breakers, they are still doing online shipping right now. And actually today they just opened up the final order cutoff, the FOC, because comics are going to start shipping soon. Yay.
Nice.
So head over to Line Breakers Comics on Facebook, join the group, and there's a group discount code only good for that group that you can use towards your purchase on their website. So make sure you head over there and check it out. They've always been such a huge supporter of Pastrami Nation and of our podcast. So, and once everything opens back up, you need to come check out this store. Like, look at Deadpool. He's like, yeah. So definitely, and we'll keep you guys updated on Line Breakers and all the cool stuff they have planned, and they do have a lot of really good things planned for the year. So COVID can't get everything, you know. All right, guys, I believe that brings us to the end of this episode. I want to thank both of you for joining me today during these COVID times. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day, and it's always a load of fun.
Oh, yeah, thank you. It was always fun.
Had a great time.
Yes.
Awesome. And thank you guys for watching this, whether you're watching it on YouTube or you're listening to it on SoundCloud. Who knows? You could be listening to this on Apple Music, or I don't know. Like this goes everywhere. So
Spotify.
Wherever it may be. Yeah. What was that? Spotify?
And Spotify, yes.
Yeah, Spotify. I thought you were going to say like vinyl. I was like, we don't do vinyl. Yeah.
Let's put it on vinyl.
Yeah, there we go. There's Eddie's idea.
Singing podcast.
On vinyl.
Yes.
So make sure you guys find us. We're at pastramination.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest. We try to be everywhere. Leave comments. Let us know, whether you like posts, you don't like them. Check out the memes we got going on all across social media. Look for more reviews coming soon. A new review is up right now talking about No Heroing from Source Point Press, which is another fantastic vampire hunter. So check out that review, and we will have another recorded episode for you very, very soon. So thank you guys again. Signing off for Pastrami Nation, the Made of Pop Culture. This is Nolan Smith.
This is Eddie.
This is Kevin.
All right, guys. You all have a great night.
See you guys.
Good night.
Good night.